Okay guys, I'm going to do another quick video for y'all about how I do our meal planning to help save money on our grocery budget. It's actually really simple. The main things are planning in advance, getting your coupons together, buying only what's on your list, and making bigger than normal meals. So the first thing, planning in advance. Personally, I plan all my meals in advance at least 2 weeks, sometimes upwards of a month. All those meals. Sit down with Tony and we kind of decide which meals we want that for those 2 weeks. And I write them down. I mainly only do dinner. We're kind of lazy when it comes to breakfast and lunch. Usually sandwiches and cereal for like those. But for dinner I write them all down. And then that way it's so easy to look at what meals I need to make for that pay period. I write down my grocery list. And I get what's only on my grocery list. And before going into the store, I get my coupons all together, so it saves time in the grocery store as well. Let's see. Okay. I go only once every 2 weeks. This saves a ton of money on not going constantly and buying, every time you go, buying more and more stuff. Every time you go, you end up buying like chips or cookies every time you go, and it's going to add up real quickly. So I only go to the grocery store once every 2 weeks. If it's in your budget to do a whole month's worth of grocery shopping, then I would really only go like once a month and only go back for like milk, and that's it. I make my meals bigger than what the recipe calls for. Like if it calls for a 9x9 casserole pan or whatever, then I'll use a 13x9. By doing this, it creates more leftovers for Tony to take to work, and we do a leftover day once every 5 days. And that actually saves a lot of money too when you're not constantly making a new meal every night. Like I said in my last video, we don't eat out very often. I stick to this. When I look, I say, oh look, we're going to do tater tot casserole. That morning I know I need to take some hamburger meat out of the freezer and have it defrosted by the time 5 o'clock, whatever, rolls around to start cooking dinner. I know before I did this, 5 o'clock would roll around. Oh, what's for dinner? I don't know. Eventually you just end up ordering out or eat some other junky food, spending that money that's unnecessary when you could have just had this all written down, everything all written down. See, you can see all my meals written down. That way I know exactly what I can do. I don't stray from this very often at all. Yeah, we stick to this. Let me see. Oh, and to help save on grocery budget, shred your own cheese. I would do anything I can to just save a dime if I can. And if that's something as simple as shredding my own cheese instead of buying the bags of shredded cheese, then I'll do it. I'm constantly going through my kitchen looking for ways to cook from scratch, ways to save that money on that grocery bill. But see, like I said, it's pretty self-explanatory. Just the main thing is just planning in advance. That's all you got to do. Just take that time to sit down once a week or once every 2 weeks or whenever and plan in advance.
Like meals.
What, Tony?
Like meals. Too.
Oh, Tony wanted me to say, sometimes I'll make some of my meals similar. That way, like if rice is an ingredient, that way I don't have to buy a bunch of little ingredients that add up. I can buy the one big bag of rice, and it goes for all those meals. So a lot of times buying in bulk like that will help you out if you make sure that sometimes your ingredients are similar. Yes, that does help. Anything else you want to contribute, honey?
I'm leaving.
You're leaving? Okay. Bye-bye. All right, guys. Let me know if you have any more questions. Thanks.